Hey team, and welcome back to the next installment of the analysis series. This week we're going to be covering someone special, a famed warrior. He goes by the name of Bartre. Okay, so in this game he's not famous yet, but he gets there, right? To clarify, this video will be talking specifically about the version of Bartre that you use in FE7. He does make an appearance in the Binding Blade, but that's a totally different unit. We'll save that one for once we've actually played that game, I think. In FE7, Bartre is a fledgling warrior in Lycia, and Eliwood finds him and his partner Dorcas protecting a village in Foray. They join up with Eliwood for the remainder of his journey. In-game, Bartre is interesting. He has a good join time, joining in the first chapter of Eliwood's mode and the second of Hector's, so at least there's that. And as an axe user, he can use hand axes for easy 1-2 range, and that's really nice. But then there's everything else about Bartre. His bases are pretty janky, plenty of strength but not a whole lot of anything else. His speed is especially disappointing. A speed stat of 3 is actually terrible. This means that he literally cannot double. Even against a tiny soldier with a steel lance, he won't be able to double, since you have to have at least 4 more speed than the other guy to double. You can't possibly have 4 more speed than someone if you only have 3 speed, making him significantly less than good by itself. But there's a few more issues with Bartre. Another issue he has is his low skill and luck. On a sword user, this wouldn't be a huge issue, but since he's an axe user, and axes have some shaky base hit chance, he might have issues hitting people that don't use lances, especially sword users. Now with axes and his actually pretty good base strength, when he does hit, it'll be pretty hard, and the hit issues won't be a huge deal, since the enemies are largely dominated by lance users anyway, but it is worth mentioning. His growths are basically the same as his bases, if you look at it. Pretty solid strength and HP with rather crummy everything else, except maybe speed, but it's going to take a whole lot more than a decent growth rate to make me believe his speed is anywhere close to good. Everything else is pretty subpar, to be honest. There's one Easter egg in the game that typically influences people to use Bartre, and that's Carla. I'm not going to talk much about her except to say that in order to recruit her, you have to have Bartre as at least a level 5 warrior by the preparations chapter, and he has to be able to survive a round of combat in the arena in that chapter. Carla will come out after the fight and chat with Bartre, recruiting her. You can do this if you want, for sure. I personally don't believe that Carla's worth the trouble, but it's up to you. Bartre can be very difficult to use, but if you want to in order to recruit Carla, or for the experience rank, it's your choice. I should mention though that this only works in Hector mode, so if it's your first time, don't use that as an excuse, since you're forced to play on Eliwood's mode the first time through and it won't work. To summarize, Bartre isn't all bad. He's got pretty nice strength bases and growths, and some solid HP to go with it, with a nice join time. His axes give him the ability to have easy 1-2 range with hand axes, but just about everything else about him is rather low tier stuff. His speed makes it impossible for him to double anybody, this time in a very literal sense. His con is almost too high, so it's hard to rescue him in a bad situation, and it's really hard not to get him in a bad situation, trust me. He's personally not my favorite unit to use, but at the end of the day, it's a single-player game, and you can make your own decisions on which units you want to use. So please, let me know how you feel about Bartre in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!